美欧和解迈向零关税，世界贸易规则痛改写。7月25号，美国总统特朗普和欧盟委员会主席容克发表联合声明，宣布双方将共同致力于实现零关税和零壁垒，消除对非汽车工业产品的补贴，并暂缓进一步的关税行动。欧盟承诺增加进口美国液态天然气和大豆，双方承诺将共同致力于推进世界贸易组织改革等。一旦美欧达成自贸协议，将诞生占全球1半 GDP 并拥有8亿人自贸区，但欧盟内部对此意见不一。柏林方面称其为一个突破，巴黎方面则更为谨慎。法国《世界报》称，如果欧美还想重拾跨大西洋贸易自由区谈判，恐怕只会是路漫漫其修远兮。此前，日本与欧盟结束历时4年多的谈判，签署经济协定。8月9号，美国与日本举行首次双边贸易会谈，媒体惊呼美欧日要联手打造全新的世界贸易体系。这些行动可能为美国再次向中国施压扫清道路，而 WTO 或将成为历史。美欧贸易休战是否缓兵之计？
特朗普这个得到的好处要更多。
这只是欧洲给特朗普画了一个饼。
特朗普说什么都不算什么了。
特朗普威胁退出 WTO 是否正确讹诈
？The WTO provides us with transparency.
他还是想在规则上占一定的主导地位。
他要改掉中国这个发展中国家的身份。
Yihu 一些谈 PK， 美欧零关税协定会否终结 WTO？
一起谈 Max, back to you. You know, I think you're checking the U.S. and the EU joint statement many times. Do you think the statement will be worked out?
Now, first of all, I think that the EU-US joint statement is a success. Why do I think that? Because, as a matter of fact, looking at the relationship between Europe and the United States right now, it is very complicated. We have a complicated administration in the White House with whom we can no longer cooperate just as well as in the past. Now, looking at the joint EU-US statement, there's something like free trade in there, energy diversification in there. There's important elements in there which we need to work on, which we want to work on, such as WTO reform. But we can maybe later on talk about the negotiation strategy, which is a bit weird.
So back to the negotiation. You know, we know that Trump is a very good negotiator, right? By the way, so in your analysis, what's the key state of the negotiating strategy for Trump, you know, to deal with the EU partner this time?
Yeah, I do think that we see a very typical negotiation strategy here. We have 5 points. The administration comes out with an ideal position. Then they have a second best outcome. Then they have a fallback line, which should be something which is acceptable to all partners. And then there's the last resort, something which they do need to have. And if they're not interested in that, they go for the butner, the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. And that's when they walk out, such as with the TPP. And so this is something which we want to avoid. And so in that sense, looking back at the EU-US joint statement, I think it's a success.
But do you really believe the Trump administration will keep it a promise?
No, I do think that every now and then there might be some back and forward, but in the end, the administration is more than just the White House, and I think we will have cooperation in the future because the transatlantic partnership is a very important partnership, and it goes beyond the current administration.
So back to you, Max. Do you think right now the WTO should still exist?
I think it's a very important point that you pointed out, Jianguo. I mean, the WTO provides us with transparency. This transparency allows us to understand the rules and regulations in a rule-based order around the world. Diarga, if you think about it, dispute settlement is so important. A big member state versus a small member state, everybody has the same rights. So it's very important. I think we should keep it. And I mean, if you really think about it, free trade is important, especially in the moment when our companies are operating in globally integrated supply chains. I mean, there's no product made in Germany anymore. There's no product made in China anymore. Parts of it is produced in the United States, in China, and in Germany. We need it.
Back to you, Max. So do you think the EU and China can stand together to fight against Trump administration's, you know, the protectionism about the trade policy?
Of course, it's not about fighting, it's about cooperation, right? But yes, I think it's very important. Look at Industry 4.0, China manufacturing 2025. Those are strategies that can reinforce each other. Look at Ilu, the Belt Road Initiative. We are working together on the Eurasian landmass, from one end of the Eurasian landmass in Europe to the other end of the Eurasian landmass in China. I think it's very important. There's so many examples. I mean, battery technology. There was recently a deal signed with CATL and BMW for a plant in Germany. The other way around, Mercedes-Benz is working together on artificial intelligence with Baidu in China. So there's so much cooperation going on. And I think if we focus on that, rather than tariffs and trying to prevent free trade, then we will have better results. Now, just to... because many of you have mentioned it, Jinbin, Hongjian, and you as well. What is the alternative?
Yes.
Ask yourself, what is the alternative? If we have one free trade agreement, bilateral, at a time, we will have a noodle bowl. I think this is the danger. So let's keep the WTO and try to focus on elements where we can work together.
中欧之间，或者说我们现在中国怎么来面对这个非常复杂的贸易战的格局？我觉得第一个，不要去纠结别人走得有多近。 关注我们自己做的有多好。第二个，我们不要看眼前的这样一些细账，我们要看长远的发展潜力。比如说中欧现在正在做的是什么？看这回欧盟领导人来，包括之前这个李克强总理去德国，其实大家讨论的是什么？我们看到都是未来的非常具有潜力的产业合作，这个智能制造的合作，包括机器人的合作等等等等。我觉得这个呀，才是在未来真正赢得。 无论是好战也好无论是不是今后还会出现一位像特朗普这样好战的总统，我觉得首先中欧之间要共同合作，发展出更多的自己免于受到这种所谓好战分子损害的能力。
结果问题的。Okay, Max, any point in the highlight in the final?
I just think that Europe and China can work very well together. I think that Germany, with the governmental consultations with China every year, is already doing a very good job at that. And I think that if we talk to each other, if dialogue is continued, then I think we can go forward in a constructive manner. And I sometimes feel that these tariffs will more likely lead to loss of economic welfare, which in the end might not facilitate the well-being of the American people, of the European people, of the Chinese people, and the people around the world.
好，谢谢你，谢谢。